one story of the many that are out there that I heard from several of our deputies that were on a call. And during the initial fire, it's chaotic. You're trying to move people out, and at the same time, if it was a perfect world, we would have cops on every corner directing traffic and expediting, but that plan is interrupted with rescue calls. And I had a deputy tell me the other day he almost had one of our patrol cars burn up, one of the newer ones. And that would have been okay. If that would have happened, I trust those guys to use good judgment and to use common sense. But when I asked him, why did you put yourself in that position? He said, because a call came in to search for an 85-year-old woman that had some disabilities. And I see that as my grandmother, and I couldn't go back. So I rallied with two other deputies. They drove into the area. It was totally engulfed in flames, but they could see the house was still standing. So they tactically put one car on one side of the fire, activated the lights so they had a reference point if they had to get out. They put another car down on a lower road, activated the lights and had it facing, and they went in the driveway on the other one. Well, they couldn't go in all the way on the driveway because the fire was blowing across, so they left that car there. They got on foot. They went through the woods, and they were choking on the smoke as they were doing it, but they kept saying that could be my grandmother, and we're not going to leave a citizen behind. We're not giving up. They went into the house. They kicked the door in. They searched the house, putting their own lives at risk with fire all around them, to find out the woman wasn't there. To them, that was a success. As they came out of the house and went to go toward the vehicle that they had parked in the driveway, it had flames covering nearly 360 degrees. They had determined that the patrol car was on fire. So they located the lights flashing through the smoke, through the woods, and began running in thick smoke to retreat to get to their vehicles. One of them stopped and looked back and saw that his car wasn't on fire, it was surrounded by fire. He ran down there as embers are blowing onto their clothing and such, hops in the car, realizes he has charcoaled embers on his pants, brushes them off his legs. It had melted through his pants and burned holes in our brand new seats. And he said, "Sheriff, I'm sorry about the seat covers, but I think I left some marks in it." That's insignificant, but that is one story of the hundreds that we may never hear about. But that's the kind of thing that was taking place. And I know from listening to the radio, a lot of police officers, sheriff's deputies were consumed with putting their lives at risk. And I couldn't even count how many firefighters did the same thing, where they took their own lives at risk because they could not live with the fact of knowing I may have left a citizen behind. That's something that shouldn't be forgotten. That's a true story. And the deputy was concerned because the embers he brushed off his lap as he got into his car, which he thought was burning, melted some holes in the seats. I'm fine with the holes in the seats. I would have been fine with the loss of the car. But it's what touched my heart is the risk they took because it was somebody's grandmother.